Victory can propel you to the top of the poker world.
Ramon Kalilas is the champion! $5.1 million!
And tasting success can leave you hungry for more.
I will love to win this tournament and to have an EPT trophy because it's an historical tournament.
But then, there are those who've yet to triumph. Is their desire for victory even greater?
Takes the win here in Barcelona.
Jason Mercier, he went with his instinct, he made the call.
There's the professional level, and there's the Ivy League.
Sebastian Paoli coming to terms with what he has just achieved.
Nicky Corrin has done it! 2 main event titles!
Sebastian Mallets has gone from poker fanboy to poker champion.
This is why people love the EPT.
Welcome to Monaco and the PokerStars European Poker Tour presented by Monte-Carlo Casino. 1,073 players entered the main event, creating a prize pool of 5.4 million euros and a first prize of almost $1 million. Last time, 85 players returned for the start of day 3, with the big names experiencing contrasting fortunes up on the main stage.
The stable, man. You're good. Good luck to you.
And when talented pros collide, someone has to lose. So, ready to get the action restarted?
Wait. Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm James Hartigan alongside Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies.
Day 3 of the main event continues with 40 players remaining. Shemian's gone.
Nothing but a cloud of pink mist.
But we still have Ramon. In fact, the PSPC winner is on a tear right now.
He is muscling his way through the field at the feature table, and I do not envy his opponents. It's going to be a long night in Monaco, and that's if they're lucky.
Ramon shot to poker stardom after taking down the biggest 25K tournament in history.
2019 fue el año que cambió mi vida, ¿no? Después de ganar el PSPC en Bahamas. Fue muy importante, es cumplir un sueño que tenía desde siempre.
Since then, he's continued to crush, making the final table of an EPT high roller and a deep run in the 2021 WSOP main event. Now, he has another trophy in his sights. So, midway through day 3 of this €5,000 buy-in main event, and here is where things stand. It's Fausto Tantillo who sits on top with a stack of 2.2 million, followed closely by Morten Vam, who was the chip leader on day 1. Ferenc Diak sits in third with a 161 big blind stack, and Ramon Kalilas is fourth, playing 130 big blinds. Inside the Salle des Etoiles, players are retaking their seats. There's Neil Farrell, the last remaining EPT champ in the field.
He's had to learn to change diapers since we last saw him. It's not what you're thinking. He's a dad now.
Sitting alongside him, Prague 2017 runner-up Jason Wheeler.
For sakes, I just had the Italian Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now they move me over here.
If you think about it, the Italian and Leaning Tower of Pisa is kind of implied.
Well, the player Jason's referring to is Nicola Grieco, who made the final table in Monte Carlo back in 2019.
I'd say those two were due for another collision, but I'm not sure Grieco gives any AFs.
Keeping his seat up on the main stage is Ramon Kalilas.
There aren't many people who can pull off white linen, and I'm sorry, he just does. He nails it. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Ramon's going to have to contend with the tournament chip leader, Fausto Tantillo.
Oh, such a good name.
We also have 4 French players at this feature table, including Arthur Conan. He was the player who ran that huge bluff against Ramon earlier. Excited to see if these two clash again. Blinds 6,000, 12,000 with a 12K big blind ante. Action will be on Ramon. He's under the gun, first to speak. He folds. Arthur Conan is out. Mark Christiani also passes. Xiong Chen folds. Chip leader Fausto Tantillo, pocket sixes.
Tantillo should be probably raising a pretty wide range of hands when folded to on the button, and sixes, lo and behold, is in that range.
Makes it 30K. Fabian Motta, Jack 4 offsuit in the small blind, folds. Jacques Megredician is in the big blind, and he's got the Snowman's pocket eights.
I am told shipping over an open from the chip leader here for 25 bigs is what's known as printing.
All in.
He shoves.
Very profitable.
273K for Tantillo to call. He does call, and Megredician is a big favorite here to double up through the big stack.
Somewhat unfortunate for Tantillo. A lot of the times he would be flipping here.
The flop is King 8-7. That is a set for Megredician, and Tantillo is now going to need running cards.
Yeah, I'm not sure if eights can breathe easier yet or not.
Oh, Tantillo picks up a straight draw on the turn.
4, please. 4.
The river is a 10.
No, you're good. My 4.
Jacques Megredician will get the double up.
Fausto got caught with his hand in the old Tantillo.
So he drops down below 2 million. Meanwhile, Jacques Megredician has doubled up to 624K, still a below average stack. We're heading out into the field for the first confrontation between Neil Farrell and Jason Wheeler. We join the action on the flop.
35.
With the action checked to him, Jason Wheeler bets 35,000.
Under the gun versus big blind. Neil's going to have a piece of this a lot. Everything from 7-8 to ace-king is going to have something here.
Neil calls the bet, and we go to the turn, which is the Queen of Hearts pairing the board. Action goes check, check. The river is the 6 of clubs. Action on Neil.
82.
He leads.
Call, queen's good.
Wheeler calls, and Neil shows the queen. Wheeler says he had to call. He had aces.
Yeah, Jason did have to call. Neil could have been value betting a jack at that point, which he would also have plenty of. Somehow Neil's not getting the Pisa treatment. What a likable fella.
You can spare a little for your old pal.
That's not how the game works, Neil. He now has 686K, and we are going to stay at the outer tables. Hugo Pingrays bet 200K on the river. His opponent, Peter Tomezi. The shot clock is ticking, and Peter has run out of time bank cards.
This is a 1/3 pot bet. No straights or flushes possible.
This is your last time bank card. At 0, your hand will be dead. 10 seconds.
This is probably a tough call with a king.
5, 4.
Makes the call. Gets shown trips.
I think I used only 2.
Now use 3. On your turn bet, you use 3 seconds.
Oh, no? Oh, okay.
On your turn bet, it was close, but you used 3 seconds of the time bank card. I'm sorry. And you used 1.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
I haven't seen a time angle that bad since that movie with Justin Timberlake. You know, the one where they steal time from the audience.
Remember that movie having a terrible poker scene?
Sure did.
So, Pigray wins the pot. We'll never know if Tomezi had a king. He mucked.
Oh, very good. Very good. No one believes me. I had a very good turn. Sorry? I had a very good turn.
Aces? Ace king? I need to know.
Pigray playing just shy of 1.8 million. Well, with 37 players remaining, the next player out will receive just over 19,000 euros. The number everyone is eyeing up is that top prize of almost 940 grand.
Ah, so we're in the money. Okay, got it.
Back to the main stage. Blinds are up, 8,000, 16,000. Ramona's raised to 35K from the cutoff. Action is on Arthur Conan.
No way that's his name, Arthur Conan. James, the game is afoot. We got to get D. Brunson out here. Come on, say it. Arthur, Conan.
I get it. I get it. Conan calls on the button. Mark Christiani in the small blind. Folds. Zhong Chen in the big blind. $9-3 off. Not really much to think about yet. Throw it away.
Calling with 7-6 in position is fine if you want to go toe-to-toe with one of the hottest new talents to hit the scene in a while.
Here comes the flop. Oh, and it's flush draw versus flush draw.
Holy Lord, I just noticed the clubs.
Ramon does not continue. He checks. Arthur Conan bets 40K.
Ramon almost always welcomes this bet. He's just going to have a ton of equity.
Makes the call. We go to the turn, which is the 8 of spades. Ramon now almost a 4-1 favorite.
This card is actually really good news for Conan.
130.
Has the straight draw to go with the no good flush draw. Bets 130,000. Once again, Ramon calls.
He is not sweating it at all.
450K in the middle. The river card is the 10 of diamonds. So Ramon didn't need to improve, but he does. Now it's top pair.
Conan may try to bluff 7 high, but also probably realizes he's blocking a fair few of the hands that would fold to a bet.
Ramon has checked to him for a third time. And he checks behind.
Yeah, I'm genuinely not sure any size bluff would have worked. Ramon is that good. I mean, he is wearing the hell out of that white linen coat.
Ramon adds 245K to his stack.
I mean, I would kill to be able to pull off white linen. I think it's the combination of sweat and body hair.
He's now got close to 1.8 million. Well, are you looking to start your own poker adventure? You can begin that journey today. Find out how by heading over to PokerStars. Welcome back to the PokerStars EPT presented by Monte-Carlo Casino. We're down to 32 players in the main event, all of them guaranteed at least 19,000 euros in prize money. And we are heading straight to the feature table. Blinds are still 8,000, 16,000 with a 16K big blind ante. Looks like the action has been folded to Ramon Kalilas. Tell you what, Joe, let's sweat with the PSPC champion. We're only going to see his whole cards.
Pocket Queen, stellar. That's one of my top 3 starting hands.
Ramon. Don't bluff.
Well, he's raised to 35,000 and Fabian Motta isn't happy because he's super short and in the big blind. Meanwhile, Mark Christiani is just 3-bet.
Okay, this is great. All right, stop it. Try to be chill. Shut it. Cool.
So Fabian Motta
Okay, all in.
is kind of forced all in from the big blind.
Okay. Now, because I, Joe Stapleton, am terrible and hate tough decisions, I'd probably rip it here and hope not to get unlucky.
Ramon decides to call.
Good players are going to call and win a bigger pot when their opponent flops a bad top pair.
Ramon out of position without the betting lead. But that is not a terrible flop for queens. 9-8 deuce. Checks to Christiani.
All in.
Who rips?
You tell yourself there's certain flops you'd fold queens on. This isn't one of them.
Christiani didn't hesitate. Insta all in. And I don't feel he'd do that with aces or kings.
It's just such a huge shove. Why would you get rid of all your value?
Count, please.
Again?
I need a count, please.
Yeah,
738,000 is the number.
Ramon might need a count, but I don't. It says it right there, and we are not getting away from this on a 9-high flop. Gotta be tempting to try to knock out 2 players.
I can fold.
Ramon calls. Fabian Motta, the short stack, has got 6-4 off. Cristiani, ace-king.
Does have outs.
Yeah, but a decent chance of a double KO. Ten on the turn.
10. You say 10?
I feel like Cristiani's shove on the flop was a little sus. Is it just me?
7 is good.
Another 10 on the river.
Okay. Good luck, guys. Good game.
A double knockout. Wow. You think a double rainbow reference is too old?
Fabian Motta, 32nd place finisher for just over 19K. Mark Cristiani gets the pay jump. Just over 22K for 31st place.
Easy game.
Not easy.
He really does make it look easy. Wearing white linen, I mean, go off, king.
Now playing close to 2.8 million and closing in on the chip lead.
I pay with.
I feel like the shove seemed like it almost got Ramon to fold, but it really didn't.
Another elimination to tell you about. Eric Svez's main event has come to an end.
Svez has fallen.
He was dispatched by Hugo Pingray. Svez cashing just over 22 grand. And with that bust out, Hugo Pingray takes the chip lead. Now playing 206 big blinds. Ramon sits in second place with 174 big blinds. Average stack right now is 69 bigs, 1.1 million. That is deep.
I'll say.
Back to the main stage, and there is a new player at the feature table, Dragos Trofimov. Action is on Fausto Tantilo, 10-9 suited in the cutoff.
Of course you can raise this. This hand literally cannot lose.
Guarantee, not guaranteed. 34,000 is the bet. Ace-6 for Ramon in the big blind.
Big stack against big stack. This is an auto defend. You just have to tread lightly.
Makes the call. Heads up to the flop. Ace, Jack, 9. So it's top pair versus bottom pair.
Tantillo might think he has the best hand a lot. Ramon's going to be defending wider than the Gulf of Mexico.
Makes a continuation bet of 30,000. Ramon, close to a 3-1 favorite here, makes the call. Turn card is the 7 of diamonds, so Tantilo does pick up a straight draw to go with his pair. Action goes check, check. And there's the straight on the river for Tantilo.
Ramon's got a bluff catcher.
Checks to Tantilo, and maybe you were right, Joe. Maybe this hand isn't capable of losing.
Tantilo's going to go for heavy, heavy value.
87,000.
I think Ramon's going to be beat here a fair percentage of the time, but at this price, he might not think it's often enough.
Still has top pair and makes the call.
A rare misstep from Ramon. It's a board Tantilo can't really value bet without a 10, although Ramon still does win all the style points.
How much is it?
87.
Tantilo wins a decent sized pot, and he's back up around the 2 million mark. Meanwhile, out in the field, Ana Marquez just ran ace-king into aces, and she is busto.
Well, 26,230 euros ain't so bad.
Lines are up in the main event, 10,000, 20,000, with a 20K big blind ante. Another new player on the main stage, Vlado Benicevic. He's got ace-9 under the gun +1. And he raises to 40,000. Zhong Chen folds. Fausto Tantilo is out. Jacques Megredician passes. Dragos Trofimov is in the small blind, not going to play. Ramon Kililis is in the big blind and has 10-9 offsuit. He calls.
Exactly the kind of hand you want to defend with in the big blind. Of course, you'd prefer it was suited, but still.
The flop. King 8-3 rainbow.
Both players miss, which means I'm giving the advantage here to Ramon.
Well, he checks to the pre-flop aggressor. And Vlado continues for 40,000.
Remember, Ramon is out of position and dominated, still giving the advantage to him.
Ooh. Check raise. 125K.
How does he do it? Just one club out there for the ace-9 of clubs.
125, yeah.
125.
Well, he makes the call. Going to the turn.
Calling with the best of it, but I hope he's got a plan.
Ten of clubs on the turn. That's an interesting card. Second pair for Ramon. The nut flush draw now for Vlado.
Wait a second. Banachevich, Banachek, George Papard, A-team. I love it when a plan comes together. Make the flush.
What?
Sorry, that train of thought is only for people over 100.
Ramon barrels 250K.
A lot of players are going to be in check call mode once they actually have a hand. Not Ramon, though.
Cool.
Looks like we're going to see a river card.
I pity the fool that doesn't connect with this river. A huge chunk of chips have gone into the middle.
River card is the queen of diamonds, so the flush draw doesn't get there. Ramon still has the best hand.
Okay.
And he shoves on his opponent. It is all into call with just ace high.
Surely Ramon doesn't think he can get called by worse, but I do think he takes away Banachevich's ability to bluff him off this 10, and maybe occasionally gets him to fold better.
He folds, and Ramon wins the pot, adding 425K to his stack.
Running so hot, the white linen jacket has been incinerated.
He's up over 3 million now, closing the gap between himself and the chip leader. Well, we have an all-in and a call at one of the outer tables. Dan Kishu at risk but ahead. Still ahead, but doesn't want to see another spade.
My spady sense is tingling.
Oh.
Gross.
And another one on the river. So Jussi Nevanlina gets there, and Dan is eliminated.
The Mindy Shore of Romania. They're giving him the light.
Nevanlina now playing close to 1 million chips. And it's redraw time. With Dan's elimination, we're down to 24. The final 3 tables about to be set in the EPT Monte-Carlo main event. We are down to just 3 tables at the PokerStars EPT presented by Monte Carlo Casino. The remaining 24 players have drawn their seating assignments, and we're about ready to restart the action in the main event. Well, the redraw means a new feature table. Ramon remains up on the main stage, as do Artur Conan, Dragos Trofimov, and Zhong Chen. They're now joined by online qualifier Erkan Cernmetz and Mark Foggin from the UK.
All right, how many Foggins do I get for this Foggin guy?
Whatever number I give you, you're going to go higher, so let's set the line at 0.
I guess I'm sitting out then.
Ramon is the table chip leader, blinds 10,000, 20,000 with a 20K big blind ante, and action will be on Artur Conan.
Oh, you love that movie, Conan.
9-8 of diamonds. He raises to 40,000. Tomezi folds, as does Trofimov. Alejandro Romero passes. Concern Mets has pocket sixes in the cutoff.
Against an under-the-gun raise with a lot of action behind, some folks would just ditch these, but not Concern Mets.
He calls.
And that's all good in the hood if you think your particular hood isn't likely to put the squeeze on.
Mark Foggin in the big blind with 9-7 off. And he calls as well. 3 players going to the flop.
Well, nobody put the squeeze on.
And what a flop. A set for Cernmets, a straight for Conan with a redraw to a straight flush.
Wow, Foggin 1%.
Action check to Cernmets.
Always bet your sets. You're supposed to be trying to get value out of all the potential draws.
Yeah, 65,000. Now, Foggin may have 1%, but he does have a pair. He does have a straight draw. I understand why he's making the call.
Conan's got to be loving this Foggin call.
How to play this monster.
225, 225.
He raises to 225,000.
Interesting raise. He doesn't have a whole lot to protect against, but with the whole board locked up, maybe he wants to get value out of the multitude of draws before an action killer hits.
Cernmets, with the set, has counted out the call. Makes the call. Foggin folds. Heads up to the turn, which is the Jack of Hearts. So Conan now has a slightly better straight, and of course he still has that diamond draw.
275, 275.
Now, this board didn't get any worse technically for bottom set, but it is kind of brutal because many people would play their combo draws this way.
Cernmets facing a bet of 275,000. Makes the call. We are going to the river with 1.2 million in the middle, and it is the Jack of Diamonds, so Conan makes his flush, but with the board paired, Cernmets has a full house.
Oh, what a terrible run out for Conan. That card's so bad for Conan, I'm going to call it the Jay Leno.
He slows down, checks the river.
And Cernmets can value bet with impunity.
380.
380,000. Is there any chance that Conan can get away from this hand?
This is a very tough fold for mere mortals. How many people get away from a flop straight that improves to a flush? I'd be like, I have most of a straight flush, I call.
Wow, what a laydown!
Incredible fold, Conan. Incredible fold.
9 after diamonds.
Yeah, didn't I?
Tells the rest of the table what he folded. Very impressed by that fold. As Cernmets chips up over 2 million. Well, let's head over to one of the 2 outer tables where Jaime Cervantes is all in, called by Fausto Tantilo. Jussi Nevenlina still to act. He folds, so showdown. Cervantes with ace-jack, Tantilo with tens. Classic race underway.
Like Sherlock Holmes versus Don Quixote. Look, Cervantes, you get it? Anyway.
Well, there is a jack on the flop. Cervantes now with the advantage. Ace on the turn. 9 on the river, so Cervantes doubles up through Tantilo.
Hopefully that'll keep him from tilting. At windmills, have any of you read a book yet?
Cervantes now playing 940,000. Fausto Tantilo, one-time chip leader, now a below-average stack. Meanwhile, all in at the other outer table.
Who is it, Victor Hugo?
It's Jason Wheeler with ace-king. Neil Farrell at risk with sixes.
How did I know it was going to be these two?
Six is holding.
Turns out he's a
Neil has to dodge an ace or a king.
river rat.
Succeeds.
Alls, Farrell, and Love, and Wheeler. All right, get back to me on that one.
Neil doubles up.
Be lucky to win the double luck. We were just carving it up for us, you know. You seen I was in trouble, you had to help me out.
So Neil survives, chasing his second EPT title here in Monaco.
I won EPT Malta in 2015 for €500,000, my first major win, and I was very lucky that day. I remember the final table was, I think I might have been one of the worst players in the final table, which is hard going, but I managed to run really well that day and I won. Joke's on them. I won the Triple Crown like a year and a half to 2 years after winning Malta, which I believe to this day is the second fastest after Mr. Jake Cody, who's a good friend of mine, and he's not a big fan of letting me forget that his was faster. In terms of like the kind of titles versus money debate, I used to be heavily titles driven. Since having a son 2 years ago, changed a little bit, could do the money. He's not cheap, but it's nice to be the winner, you know?
I don't want to say children are expensive, but my dad does every time he pays my phone bill.
Well, back to Neil's table because he's all in again, and this time he's dominated. Oh, he's paired his eight.
Daddy?
He survives again.
What does this mean for the whole Wheeler-Greco-Farrell dynamic? Is my enemy's enemy my friend, or is my friend's friend my enemy?
Neil's still below average, but now playing more than $1 million.
That's very lucky.
The Italian Leaning Tower of Pisa, Jason's words, not mine, nearly toppled.
Yeah, 340K. Well, we've ticked down to 21 players in the main event. We have just lost Artur Konen. He was eliminated at the feature table, but we are staying out in the field. Former chip leader Fausto Tantilo is all in, and he is way behind.
I'll say, prepaying, probably not going to work at this point.
Needs an 8 on the river. Doesn't hit. And he is KO'd in 21st place.
The once chip leader has been vanquished by Havam.
Cashes for 31,280 euros. And that was a pretty big pot, resulting in a new chip leader. Morten Vam now playing 3.6 million.
A huge stack.
Ramon Kalilas and Hugo Pingray close behind, 3.3 million each. Online qualifier Erkan Sernmets sitting in 4th place right now with an 88 big blind stack. And the blinds currently 10,000, 25,000. Action folded around to Romero. He's out. Sernmets is on the button. And he's got queens.
I don't know if you know this, but this is one of my top 3 starting hands.
Sernmets raises to 65,000. Ramon Kalilas with ace-king in the small blind.
Buckle up, buckaroos.
He is counting out a re-raise. It's a 3-bet to $250,000. Zhong Chen folds the big blind. Action back on Sernmets, who just calls.
Another just call pre-flop with queens. Maybe I should write this down. Do you have a pen?
The flop is 10-8-6, all clubs. So queen's still good, but should highlight that Ramon has the bigger club and the better flush draw.
A club would be a disaster for Cernmez. Even an ace or a king would be better than a club.
Ramon does not continue, checks the action, and Cernmez checks behind. Turn card is the king of diamonds. Ramon now with the best hand. Top pair, top kicker.
Not a club, but still not great for Cernmez.
Ramon checks a second time. And Cernmez looks back at his hand.
Maybe thinking it's time to supposedly get some value, allegedly.
$550,000 in the middle, and Cernmez bets $190,000. Ramon, a 95% favorite, calls. And the river card is the 8 of hearts, pairing the board. Ramon checks, Cernmez checks, and Ramon tables the winning hand to win the pot.
Cernmez, more like Sadmez.
And with that hand, Ramon Kalilas retakes the chip lead in the main event with just 19 players remaining.
Wow.
Have a king?
I have queens.
Queen.
We're continuing to play down to the final 2 tables at the PokerStars EPT presented by Monte-Carlo Casino. Spanish pro Ramon Kalilas is leading the way right now. 19 players remain and only 16 will advance to day 4. Straight to the outer tables where Jason Wheeler is all in and racing against Marcelo Samoas. The Brazilian with queens, Jason Wheeler with ace-king. The flop is Jack 8-7, queens holding. Deuce on the turn. And a 4 on the river. Wheeler is KO'd.
And the 18 Wheeler is out of gas.
A celebration from Samoas.
Understated for a Brazilian.
Just double checking the stacks, but it looks like Wheeler was indeed covered. And time for him to pack up his CD Walkman.
You gotta pay for the electronic skip protection.
Well, the good news is he has cash for more than 35 grand. Confirmation, he is our 19th place finisher. And he will receive 36,480 euros.
Solid.
And Marcelo Samoas now has close to 1.9 million, just above the tournament average.
Oh, the A stands for average.
Up on the main stage at our feature table, action will be on Nariman Yagmai. Line's currently 10K, 25K.
James, whatever you do, do not feed your Yagmai after midnight.
He has ace-10 offsuit under the gun.
Sure hope there isn't a wet board.
He raises to 55,000. Round 2, Ramon Kalilas on the button, who's got 6-5 of diamonds. He calls. Chen in the small blind. Passes. Mark Foggin is super short in the big blind.
Really?
And looks like he is all in with Queen 10.
Fogging things up.
Come on then.
Making them foggy, I mean.
Yagmai calls. Ramon will call as well, and we're 3-way to the flop with 1 player all in.
Put the rucksack on, extra 5%.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Need some fucking luck.
I'd say, because Ramon's just flopped a straight.
Where's the Foggin exit?
It's a good flop for ultimate.
482. It's a good flop for 482.
Action on the side between Yagmai and Ramon.
Speaking of which, I mean, how do you flop this here with 6-5?
Action checked to Kalilas. Bet 75K. And gets a fold.
9-10 of hearts.
You need a lot of luck.
Oh, really? You got 5-6? Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
What do I need? I need a pint of lager.
He did not say fogging.
He's actually drawing to a chop.
Good luck, lads. 5-6?
Needs running cards. And he's drawing dead.
Nice hand, lads. Good luck, right?
We are down to 17 in the Monte Carlo main event. Mark Foggin eliminated in 18th place, cashing for nearly 36,500 euros.
Look at that, Foggin walk-off. Okay, that's it, I swear.
Ramon Kalilas closing in on the 4 million mark.
Just one more elimination, and we are done for the day.
Staying with the action at the feature table, where Erkan Sernmats has ace-king suited under the gun, raises to 60,000. Ramon Kalilas with king-jack off.
Oh, Ramon, against an under-the-gun raiser, really?
He re-raises to 175,000.
The worst part is he's probably going to figure out a way to win this hand.
Action folded to the blinds. Trofimov out. Romero out. So back on Sernmats.
Now, the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. And last time when Sernmats had queens, he did not 4-bet.
Yeah, just calls. Will play the flop out of position without the betting lead.
But he is dominating.
Yes, does have the best hand. And still has the best hand. Top pair for Sernmats. He is a 96% favorite.
This is exactly the type of board that's going to make Sernmats' pre-flop call very, very profitable.
Checks the action to Ramon.
A 4-bet would have likely gotten a fold from Ramon. I think he's going to get at least one bet here.
Yeah, continuation bet of 125,000.
We can see a just call is the way to go, but Sernmats may already be wary of this board.
$60?
Yeah, he's check raising.
360.
Luckily for Ramon, Sernmats has taken away his ability to maneuver here.
With just king high, he can let this go.
You bluff me, I know.
No,
I
no.
know, you bluff me. I know. I show in the.
You see? In the,
You bluff me. For sure. No, I see this night. Okay. That the other is not good. It's not good. Ace 10.
You have ace 10?
You.
Not only is Ramon dialed in with playing hands, but now he's getting people to give up information before it airs on the broadcast. Pretty slick.
All in out in the field. Nicola Grieco called by Justin Saliba. Marcelo Samoas folds, so showdown. Saliba with 9s, Grieco with 6s.
This is not a race, and it could be the end for the Italian Leaning Tower of Pisa.
There's a 9 on the flop. Grieco down to 4% and drawing dead on the turn. Last time we were here in Monte Carlo, Nicola Grieco made the final table. In 2022, he's our 17th place finisher, cashing for just over 41,500 euros. And we are down to the final 2 tables.
This guy was dead tonight. You just knew.
Yeah, no, I saw his hand. You might as well just open it across the room. It was good.
I thought about mucking it for
Yeah,
And that means play for the day draws to a close. Time to bag and tag.
Wait a second, nobody said there was going to be a written portion.
Yes, yes.
A long day of poker comes to a close. And 16 players will return for the penultimate day of the EPT Monte-Carlo main event.
All right, shh, just listen. Little chips and bags ASMR. It's a beautiful sound.
That's a lot of chips for Morten Vam. He will lead the way into day 4 with 3.8 million. Ramon Kalilas and Hugo Pingray, the only other players to break the 3 million mark. But everyone in the top 8 is playing more than 70 big blinds. Meanwhile, at the bottom end of the table, Justin Saliba is the shortest stack despite ending the day with a KO. And the last remaining former champ, Neil Farrell, has some work to do if he wants to secure a second EPT title. Next time, the excitement builds as the last 16 look towards the final table.
Your first time?
First time, yeah.
How you liking it?
Oh, it's great. If I can make final tables every time, that'd be great.
You just play it like this or like this? This? Ay, ay, ay.
Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome poker content. And check out this video. The YouTube algorithm seems confident you'll like it.